He's known as an automobile visionary. His alliance produces 1 in 10 cars globally. So obviously he has clout, but he's also at the cutting edge of new technology everywhere, from mass-produced electric vehicles to self-driving cars. Carlos Ghosn, such a pleasure to have you on NDTV.
It's my pleasure.
Let me begin with this entire initiative of mass-produced electrical vehicles, the first of which I believe already a big success in Leaf, but is going to be launched in 2020?
Yeah, well, this is, I mean, we're going to have an electric car with autonomous drive.
Right.
That's the technical trend that we are pursuing now. Autonomous drive is not the driverless cars. There is a lot of confusion about it. Autonomous drive means that you're in the car and you decide whenever you want to drive and whenever you don't want to drive, for whatever reasons. This, with the connected car, is going to really transform your experience when you'll be driving a car by 2020.
But you say even in a decade, we will be seeing self-driving cars.
Yeah, I think it's self-driving cars, which mean cars without a driver, want to take a longer time.
How much?
For a very simple reason. I don't think it's a technological matter, because in fact, we are advancing very fast on technology with the development of cameras and development of sensors and development of softwares and development of mapping, which is going to have to be absolutely without any mistake. All of this is developing very fast. But you know very well that these kind of cars cannot be on the road without a public-private cooperation, because you need to change the regulation around driving in order to make the consumer benefit from everything which comes from autonomous drive and connected car. Let me give you an example. Today, in many countries, you have to drive with your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. So obviously, if you are on autonomous drive, but you need continue to have your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road, autonomous drive is meaningless. It doesn't give you any advantage. If you are allowed to take your hands off the wheel with an autonomous driven car, your eyes off the road, and you have a connected car, then you can have a video conference, you can write a memo, you can exchange, you can do a lot of things that's going to make your transportation more pleasant or more useful. That's what we're looking for. So technology needs to advance, but regulation needs also to adapt to this new technology, and that's what's going to take time.
Right. When will that time come? When you see the car really as an extension of your smartphone? People are saying it's going to be an extension of your office, your home,
yeah,
your contacts.
except that there is no safety issue around the phone, while you have safety issue around the car. You know, the weight is not the same. One is mobile, the other one is not. I mean, there is a lot of elements going. And cybersecurity, which is another concern, has a lot of more attention when it comes to cars than when it comes to phone. So I think in terms of regulation, obtaining the modification of regulation on cars is going to take much more time than whatever is necessary to adapt to, for example, a technology like the iPhone.
Okay, let's talk about your focus on making this into a mass product. I mean, unlike the Teslas or Googles of the world, which are looking at similar products, but are obviously at a much higher price point. Why did you take this decision at Renault-Nissan?
You know, we have a principle at Renault-Nissan is we want mobility for all. We said from the beginning. That means we're after the mass market. We spend as much time developing Infinity, which is our premium brand, as much we are investing into developing the Kwid, which is on a very basic platform with modern car on a basic platform. So we want mobility for all. We don't concentrate on one segment of the market. Some car makers, and I understand it, want to go more upper market. We want to go to the bulk of the market, and the bulk of the market start with the Leaf, because this is really center of the global market, and we are as keen to develop electric car in entry level as it is on the premium. Now on premium, many car makers are coming on the premium and covering it. We want to continue to center on the bulk of the market and eventually bring electric car more in the entry level of the market.
Okay, I'm going to talk about Kwid since you mentioned it. Big success in India, and you've really changed your business model in India from previous partnerships with Mahindra and Bajaj, which didn't really take off. Now, obviously seeing huge success, and you've used an Indian term. I'm going to ask you to repeat it. Jugaad.
Yeah.
And that's a model that seems to have worked.
Oh yeah. That means, you know, we're pragmatic people. We're business people. We continue and we develop what works and we stop what doesn't work. And it's a kind of, you know, try, and if it works, we continue. If we stop and we continue with something else. We've tried a lot of things in India. India is, as you know, a complex country, particularly for foreigners. You need to learn your way through India. We learned a lot through our partnerships. Now, with the development of Kwid, We developed the right platform, I think, with India, but this was something impossible without the previous experiences that we had in India. So somehow the success of the Kwid is the result of the many experiences we have in India, and we're very proud of it. And I think the success of the Kwid in India prepare for an offensive of this platform in emerging markets. So we're using India as a kind of very important lab for the rest of the world.
And what do you make of India's policies as well, to your company, Prime Minister Modi's policies?
Yeah, I think we've seen for the last years a kind of pro-business policy which is being implemented. We're very happy with it. We think India as a market is on a good trend. As you know, the car market resumed growing. We think there is a very big potential for growth in India. Let's not forget that you have about 25 cars per 1,000 residents in India, while China has 120 cars per 1,000 residents. Brazil has 200, Russia has 300, Europe has 500, United States has 800. So there is a big boulevard of growth in India. We just need to make sure that we're bringing the right technology, the right car, to really, in a certain way, jumpstart this big development that we are expecting.
What about the new models? Will you concentrate on hatchbacks, or will you concentrate on these hybrid models in India, or will you look at, SUVs have been a big success story as well?
We are generalists, which means that you can expect to see, on term, practically all models coming to the Indian market. We just need to make sure that we have the right price points and the right expectation of the Indian consumer. And then when we hit it, then we have a very formidable response. The Kwid has been a great response. We're very proud of it. Now we have another challenge, is move production fast enough in order to make sure that consumers don't have to wait too long to get their car.
And, speaking about India's challenges, especially at a time where people are saying the world is collapsing, we might see a repeat of 2008. I know you said globally auto sales are still looking strong, 1% in the US, 1 to 2% for the rest of the world, and far more for India. Can you just elaborate how auto sales still look good despite a falling concern in the global economy?
Yeah, I think there is a tendency when we are in a volatility period, which is the case. It has been the case in 2015. I think 2016, you're going to see a lot of volatility. Then when the markets start to go down, people think it's going to be endless down. And when it starts to go up, people think that they're going to go endlessly up. We're going to be in a volatile period where we're going to have a lot of up and down. But at the end of the day, like the year 2015, which has not been an easy year for car makers, we end up with 1% growth. Even though Russian market has been down 35%, Brazilian market has been down 20%, Japanese market has been down. Many major markets have been down. We've been up 1% as a global industry. And we think 2016 is of the same vein. Still growth, probably a little bit better, 2%, with the strong points being China, India, United States, continuous recovery in Europe, some weak points, Russia, Brazil, Japan. Okay? But fundamentally, I think, I don't believe into the doom scenario where everything is going to collapse and they're going to repeat 2008, because fundamentally the situation is very different from 2008, and a lot of the basis, commodity price, oil price, interest rate, cash, management by central banks, all of this is at in very favorable conditions overall.
And oil price actually will help customers, future automobile customers, to buy it, especially in India?
Well, putting money back in the pockets of the consumers, obviously out of the pockets of the producer, but back in the pockets of the consumers, and this is obviously favorable overall for the industry.
Okay, any final figures on investments in India, plans, the manufacturing, which is 97% localized in Kwid as well?
Yeah, well, it's 97% because we want it to be 97% from the beginning. It was designed to cost and designed for localization, and we were successful, and that's why the car is being attractive. We're going to continue to invest in India, and obviously the Kwid is going to play an important role, but there will be more cars to come.
Any hints there?
Not yet.
Some blueprints in the making?
Yeah, so, obviously you can imagine that with the success of the first car, many will be coming.
And even these fears of, climate change affecting this, car sharing, the likes of Uber and in India, Ola cabs, etc., gaining steam, that's not going to impact your business.
It will impact negatively from one side, but you have also some very positive impact from the other side. For example, the connected car is going to make the car more private, is going to bring back young people to the car industry. Autonomous cars is going to bring more senior people to the car industry. So I don't think you can take only one trend. You have to look at the picture as a whole. What are the negative trends? What are the positive trends? And then from all of this, where are we going? I still think we're going to see a growth of this industry when I take in consideration all the trends that we are seeing coming for the next 5 to 10 years.
All right, not so many speed bumps there. Carlos Ghosn, many thanks indeed for speaking with NDTV.
Thank you.
Thank you.